And good evening, sports fans. It's Wednesday Night Live with the coach and the
AD.
Hey, it's been a heck of a week for both of us, but we're back from Saturday morning. Well, he was hanging out watching baseball. I was in here in the AC because I lost my extension cord, but found it for tonight. But
we're still inside. It worked out for you, though.
It worked out great.
I think you're going to keep losing your extension cord.
Yeah, I think I got to keep losing it.
Yeah, keep losing it.
I found out that Mr. Henderson, John Henderson, our sponsor, was okay. There we go. Was using it out on the sound guard. But anyway, we got a great show tonight. We're going to talk local football, but it's been a heck of a week. Football kicks off tonight, the Corky Kell Classic. Then in Savannah, we got BC taking on Burke County over at Memorial Stadium. Go out to Cooler where it's cooler. It's not really cooler. Okay, we got ECI coming in and take on Savannah Christian. Then everybody else is on the road.
Yeah, man, Country Days at Bulk Academy. I think tomorrow. Is it tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, yes, they switched that. Newsbreaker. He's on top of it. That's why we call him the AD. Savannah Country Day against Bulk Academy was changed from Friday night to Thursday night up at Bulk Academy. And I think they're starting early. I think it's like a 5:30, 6 o'clock start.
Yeah, I think it's 6. I think
6 o'clock start.
Right. Yeah, 6 o'clock start there, and then we just did this week.
All right, we know he's wearing his Calvary shirt. We are means Calvary with this guy.
Yeah, Frederica Academy game we scheduled on the 18th down there will now be played here in Savannah at Special Sports Complex. So
that's your first home game?
No, next week against Bulk Academy is our first home game.
So you guys can go scout tomorrow night. Well, you won't go scout.
No.
You got to go watch your kid.
That's right.
I got to go watch my kid.
I'm going to Toombs County tomorrow night.
I'm just going to Historic Racing Stadium.
Not far.
Not far at all. But once again, we got a great lineup tonight. We're going to talk some local football with a school out there on Wilmington Island. It used to be called On the Marsh, but now it's just called St. Andrew's School. This man has been coaching the state for a long time. Got himself a little bling at Riverside Military Academy way back in 2005. Went over and helped build Mount Pisgah, and then he wound up here in Savannah, Georgia in 2013. The head ball coach over at St. Andrew's School, I'll still say it, On the Marsh. And Doug, I will apologize if I say the Saints. It's only old habit because I was a Saints coach way back when. But joining us now on the Coach's Corner, Internet Hotline, is the man himself, the head of the Lions, Doug Dixon. Doug, thanks for coming on.
Pleasure to be here, Carl. Great to get to talk with you and chat.
Now, it's football season. I mean, you've been all over the place. You've been throughout the state. I mean, Mount Pisgah, Riverside Academy, Military Academy. So now you're at good old St. Andrews. Tell everybody about how you wound up here at St. Andrews.
Well, actually my career started at Jenkins High School. That's where I started. My first 2 years I was at Jenkins.
What year?
That was 1990 and 91. Okay. I was at Jenkins.
Right before I got there.
Then I got an opportunity to go up to Thompson and coach in the Brickyard with the Bulldogs, and I was there for 8 years. And from there, I got my first head job at Riverside, and that was an unusual situation. We got there; they were hadn't won a game in 5 years, hadn't had back-to-back winning seasons since 1935, 1936.
Wow!
We ended up at the end of the deal. We ended up winning 40 the last 4 years, a state championship, and we had 4 that went SEC off of one team. So it got going pretty good up there. Then we took the job. We were blessed to go over to Mount Pisgah. Built that program up, and then moved down here to Savannah, beautiful St. Andrews, and got a little closer to my mom and dad. Mom and dad are both in their 80s, and this is it's a time they always followed me. It's time to make it a little easier to come and see the games, I think. And they got to watch my boys play here for me, and I had one of my sons help coach. So we had a little family affair here for a while. So it's been a good thing for us. And excited to be at St. Andrews and excited to be in Savannah, and excited to talk with you guys.
Well, Coach, tell us about you. You also played for legendary Eric Russell. So talk about that experience.
Hey, listen, that's the reason right there. Now you might not believe this, but I'd have a furry red afro if it wasn't for Coach. No, but I tell you what, I did. True story. 2004. It was July the 4th weekend. I decided to shave my head. I didn't have to, but I chose to, and. We ended up going. We won 10 in a row that year. Ended up making it to the semifinals. Hadn't even thought about. Well, probably couldn't now if I wanted to anyway. But had thought about trying to have hair since then. But Played for Coach Russell. What a great experience. One of the greatest coaches of all time. Should be in the Hall of Fame. No doubt should be in the Hall of Fame. When you talk about the greatest coaches in college football, if he's not mentioned in the top 5, something's wrong. Just the truth.
Well, Coach, talk about your, as you were growing as a young coach, it had to be tremendous to take bits and pieces from, George Southern and Coach Russell and how you develop that into your own style. Or was everything developed from there?
Well, you're exactly right. Everything in coaching, you're borrowing from somebody else, and you make it your own. Schemes to a lot of the things you come up with, and your mannerisms even sometimes. But Coach Russell, he was such a great person, and I hope I can one day just be a smidgen of what he does as far as making people feel that they're probably a little better than they might be. He had a way of making you feel like you were special, and he was truly a player's coach. There's no doubt in my mind. I've never been around a person that could make you feel comfortable the way Coach Russell did. And I'll tell you the other thing about Coach Russell. He could get away with saying things and doing things that no other man probably can get away with doing. He could be in a room full of ladies in a church and tell a slightly off-color joke, and everybody would still love it and think it's the best thing in the world. He was an amazing man, an amazing coach, and just a great inspiration to be around.
Yeah, I got to meet him a couple of times at Coach's Clinic, and very nice, personable. I remember the last couple of years watching him stand at that fence where the bust is now, him smoking a cigar while the Eagles were playing. Just a great guy. And, you've been around like I've been around, and I like what you just said to Coach Griffin here. There's no sense to recreate the wheel. For example, Coach, this new great 3-5 defense. All it is a 53 defense. You're walking your ends off, and you're putting hybrid athletes out there that are unbelievable. They could be a linebacker, they could be on line, they could be a defense back. Gee, we founded the 3-5 defense. No, it doesn't work that way. So it really gets me. But all right, St. Andrews. Great season last year. This year, tell us about this year's team. Great scrimmage last week against Bethesda. Guys are excited. You beat them on the scoreboard. And back then I think you had 18 kids. Now you got 21. Tell people what it's like coaching a team that small also.
I tell you what, it's a challenge. It is a challenge at practice. Not only practice the games, but in practice, trying to put something together with that small in numbers, it's impossible to get a look. You really got to be very creative and spend a lot of time. And another thing, I spend a lot of time in individuals. I'm a big believer in teaching technique. We're going to spend a lot of time in technique, and then team is a real challenge to get a look. We're going to come together. We'll work a lot of half line, and then we're going to spend some time on bags just to get the best we can. But it's fun, always challenging, and proud of these young men for what they did Friday night, because we might have been a little bit of an underdog in that game if you were there. If you were at that game and you looked at it, you might have said, well, "How did that happen?" But it did.
Well, Coach, talk about one with that group. You got to have great leadership. You got to have kids even within that group who are just how football is. You got to love it. You got to love to be a football player. It's just not easy, especially when there's only 20 or 21 of you. You're going both ways. You're probably most of them are hardly coming off the field. You got to truly love the sport, and then you also have to truly love your teammates. So talk about the kids at St. Andrews and maybe some of the seniors that are just tremendous leaders for you.
I'd love to do that. That's very important to me. First thing that comes to mind is Grant Viens. Grant did an unbelievable job Friday night, running the ball and on the defensive side. Very physical football player. Again, never came off the field. Ben Bingley played offensive line for us, an outside linebacker. Very physical young man. Did a great job for us. Probably have an opportunity to watch him play on Saturdays if he continues to grow the way he has. You have Christian Olshig, our offensive guard, and also played a little defensive end, did a good job. Craig Rayburn at Mike linebacker. Cade's small in stature but big in heart. Cade's playing Mike linebacker, weighing a $160. If you dropped him in water and had a 5-pound weight in his pants.
Hold on, coach. He's a coach's kid, though. Eric Rayburn, Savannah State.
No. You're not gonna. I'm telling you, he does his job, but he ain't. He's not the heaviest of fellas, and he's not the tallest. But that heart. Like I say, he might weigh 160 pounds, but 145 is hard, so he's in pretty good shape.
Go home, talk football with Mama too.
And Mama, get on the phone with Dad. He's set. He's set with football. Hey, and you know who his uncle is? Larry Kerr, the guy from Union. Yeah, I mean the guy's got it in the family. It's running in that blood. But then Will Livingston plays our other linebacker. Our Will. Will's a great running back for us. He also plays a little slot. We put him in motion, sort of an H-back. He does a good job for us there. And then Connor Dodge is our quarterback. And Connor did a great job for us. Had a big pass, about a 70-yard pass in the game Friday night to give us a good, comfortable lead. So all those guys do a good job, and I'm blessed to have them. We got a good group of young men that give us great effort. And you're exactly right. They don't get to come off the field. I probably play 12 people. On a good night, we might get 13 on that field. They look at me sometimes and they say, Coach, can I get a bus? Okay, tell me, help me out here. Who am I going? How are we going to do this? They get on out there and they do what they got to do. They're a great group of young men. Now, I'll tell you what, we say this about those on the field, but those young men that are in the program that are helping develop the program, they're a big part of this too. One thing about this, everybody's important. And I cannot emphasize that enough. Everybody, all these freshmen that are coming in through the program, they're huge. We couldn't do what we're doing without them. And one day, we'll sit here and talk about them. I guarantee you that, and I look forward to that day. But it's a process. Everything is earned, and it's a process. They'll have their time.
Wow, I'm looking at your roster. I count 8 ninth graders, 8 freshmen, and an 8th grader.
Yeah. We got an 8th grader that he ain't gonna get in the games, but I'll let him practice with us, and he's gonna look pretty on that sideline on Friday night. The girls in the 8th grade class are gonna appreciate him. I guarantee you that. And he's doing a great job for us. And I will say this: those 9th grade boys, if they'll keep that core together, they're going to really enjoy they're going to have a very successful time. And I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to coach. I'm very proud of each and every one of them. Actually, one of those 9th grade boys is on that field and doesn't come off much. A young man by the name of Cullen Cotter. Got to mention him. Very proud of him. His development over the last 6 months has been very impressive in the weight room. Tell you what, most important thing about any athletic program is that weight room. And Cullen understands the importance of it. If you can understand that, and a cool thing about the weight room, it's not prejudice. It doesn't care whether you're male or female, short or tall, skinny or overweight. It's going to make you a better athlete. I promise you that.
Hey, and we're going to go to a legendary coach that believed in the weight room, and that's why his teams were so good. I think his name was Tom Osborne.
Hey, you know what? When you say that, one of the programs, what we do with our weight program, and we're not doing as much here, but over the years it's been a combination of Nebraska, Tennessee, back when, but it's been a few years ago, and then we also use a little bigger, faster, stronger. But it's always been a combination of those 3 things to create the weight program, because I'm a big believer in the weight program. Big believer. All
right. Well, once again, you're watching Wednesday Night Live with Coach AD, Karl DeMasi, Chad Griffin. We got the head ball coach over at St. Andrew's School, Doug Dixon, been there since 2013. Tell people, though, how at a small school it's cyclical. It's a cycle with the kids coming through. And like you said, you got 7 or 8 8th graders. People don't realize that they're going to be classes. You're going to have 2 kids, maybe 3 kids, but they're going to be classes that you got to rely on. And when they're young bucks, you got to throw them out there.
Got to develop. The whole part of any program, and it wouldn't matter if it's our small program or like when I was at Riverside, I have 120 in my program. You got to develop. You got to develop the program, and you got to develop every level of that program, and then you're going to reap the rewards. And so, like it's always been that way. My philosophy. We're going to develop every player, and you develop those players on the practice field. You develop those players during individual time when they're learning technique. So we spend a lot of time with that, and it's a pleasure, and I look forward to watching them reap the rewards of their hard work. I sure do.
Well, Doug, let's talk a little bit about your offensive defensive philosophy, what you guys look like when you're out there on offense, what you're trying to run or do. I've not got to see you guys play. So are you running spread? You running wing T? You run what are you? Are you George Southern? Tell people about what you're doing on offense, and we'll talk about defensive spot as well.
Well, first of all, I've done them all. I've done the flex bone from Southern. I've done everything. There's not much that we haven't at some point this year. We would we're a power running team that'll get in the spread. What we are. There was a time a few years back I hired the guy Gus Malzahn. He's over at Auburn, but he used to be at a school over in Arkansas called Shiloh Christian, and I hired the offensive coordinator from there to come in and help me put in. And that was when the guy that's at Georgia that ended up going to Georgia State. I brought him in to help us run some of that, and basically it's a power offense out of a spread set. But we'll get under center and we'll run some power. We'll run some ISO. I got a big back that likes to take it downhill. So and my philosophy is to create spacing where we can have some lanes to run, even if we don't block well. And we want to put somebody in conflict every play. I'd like to have a double team at some point, and somebody's going to be in conflict every play, and then hopefully we got a chance to make something happen. Our throw game is the same philosophy. We want to get somebody in conflict. We're reading the guy in conflict and hopefully make him wrong every time. Defensively, we're a 3-4. We base out of a 3-4, but we're very multiple. It depends on the number of backs in the backfield. You come out in a 2-man set, we're going to have a 4-man front. You come out in a 1-back set, we're going to have a 3-man front. You come out with a 3-back set, we're going to have 6 in the box. So it's more of a 3-3 look. So it really doesn't. It just depends on what you do in your backfield and how we're going to react. And our guys really understand the concept of the defense, and they've done a real good job. And that goes back to our former defensive coordinator, Rusty Perry, who did a great job. Great job teaching these young men. And I just get to follow in his footsteps and learn. Try to keep up with him a little bit. But he did a great job teaching them. And we're doing the same thing to keep it as simple as we possibly can for them, and they're doing a great job with it. And the best way to say it too is we're an aggressive gap control defense. We're going to come after you.
Now you're playing a lot of guys both ways, and you're a small school. How are the students handling going to school with all these COVID-19 protocols, and then coming out to practice?
Well, I want to tell you, I'm not so worried about the kids sometimes as I am myself. Lord have mercy, Chad. I know you're dealing with it too, and I know you are, Carl.
But he's younger. He's younger than us.
I don't know how young you'd have to be for it not to weigh down on you. I'm just telling you, this is a challenge. But these guys, they do a great job. I've got to be honest with you, because they keep the mask on all day. It doesn't come off, and they keep a positive attitude. It doesn't come off in the weight room. We're working out, and they got to keep the mask on. I don't know if I'd have it in me. I'm just going to be honest with you. That'd be tough. But they do that. They work hard, and I'm very proud of them. And they come out here with a good attitude to practice, and hopefully we'll continue.
Have you noticed, Coach, that it seems like this has been a lot of programs that the kids are just so grateful to have something to go back to that it's really not a challenge, because they are so happy to probably be out of their house, be with their classmates and teammates, and then obviously get to go play something they love to do. So how's that been with the kids coming out here?
I think you're exactly right, Chad. I think that's such a accurate assessment. I think that it gives them an opportunity to do something, because a lot of us have been stuck in that house for a number of weeks and a number of months, and it's good to have them, and they're excited to be out, and we're just thankful for every game we get to play.
Yeah.
When we went to the game Friday night, I was so happy that we got to play a game. I didn't know that we'd get to it. I really didn't. And now, this week, I'm going to be very happy if we get to play it. And then each week, we're going to be thankful for that opportunity because we're not guaranteed the next one. We just got to go out there and take advantage of this.
You're right, Coach, and we're seeing that all across the state. You're seeing that, with Vidalia, with Statesboro, with Colquitt County. So there's the coronavirus and COVID. It doesn't care if you're a 7A school like Colquitt with every facility and everything that you could possibly have, or Vidalia in a rural community. Or Metro Atlanta, it does not care.
Doesn't matter.
We got a call from Glenn Academy today for volleyball. It's like, hey, we got 3/4 our team went to quarantine day. We can't come play volleyball tomorrow. So you're right. Like every single day is a gift, and every opportunity to play is a gift because you just don't know what's around the corner.
No, you don't, and you got to just take advantage of that opportunity. We preach that a lot. What do you do with your opportunity? Not just on the football field, but in life, in the classroom. How are you going to respond? And hopefully we continue to respond in a positive way.
The old coach's cliches that we always say, you got to play like it's your last play. You got to play like it's last game. Kids don't realize that. And the senior class of 2020, which we all had very close relationships, they learned that the spring sports, it was cut short on them. And, you got to play it. It's like your last game. It's tough. It really is tough. So, all right, let's go back to football. Like you said, You're thankful the good Lord's going to let us play Friday night. You open up with John Paul II. Tell us about that game. And is it home?
It's at home. They're coming to our house. I was going to tell y'all earlier, there's another game in Savannah on Friday night.
I know. We forgot it.
Let me just say this. We're limited to the number of people that can come in, so we can't. I'd love to be able to sit here and tell you I want everybody to come, but our attendance is very limited. But it will be on Facebook Live, I know, and we're going to get it out there. But it's exciting to be at our house. Anytime we can have people come to our house, we're excited. And our guys have they have a pretty good tradition of protecting our house, and they understand how important that is. And we're looking forward to it. And
talk about that with the student body and the parents and everybody, with dealing with these situations and limits. How are you guys handling that at St. Andrews? With what is your limitations? What are you guys doing?
Now, I will tell you, we're very conservative about that because we're so aware of this virus. We're only allowing 45 from each team to come in right now for this first game. And we're going to probably expand on that. We probably could see 1,800, somewhere near 1,500 in our place. But we're just spreading everybody out. We're keeping it very thin. We're going to gradually increase that, but right now it's going to be very small numbers. And then we have a task force that's in charge of COVID that's going to come up that helps us decide what we're doing. They'll meet again Monday night after Labor Day, and they'll say, well, we decided that you're going to get to go to this number, or you're going to stay at this number. And we'll go from there. And I find in my conversations, and I'm sure as you do as an AD, different schools have different protocols.
Yeah.
And that's a bit of a challenge if you really want to know the truth, because you go in certain ways, and you might go to a school that allows things that you might not be allowing, and that sometimes creates challenges. But there's a school or two on our schedule in volleyball that does not allow anyone in the team. They're keeping it closed off. Everything's going to be live fed for video, but you're not going to get to go in. I mean, it's it is what it is. I hate that everybody can't come out and watch, because there's something special about a Friday night in Georgia. There's just I'm sorry if you haven't gotten to experience it. I'm just sad for you, because there's no matter whether it's under the lights here on Wilmington Island and it's not as big a stadium, or you can take it up to the Colquitt County over there and have a big crowd, or over at Memorial. We played at Memorial last Friday night where you have a good crowd. I mean, it doesn't matter where you're playing. Friday night is a special thing, and I hate that not everybody gets to experience it the way it is.
All right, Coach. Well, the last question I'm going to throw at you. Okay, you got John Paul II opening up with, but you guys move up in classification, and you got some heavyweights on there. Memorial Day, Robert Toombs, Pinewood Christian, Frederica, Bullock Academy, Trinity. These are all top Giza schools.
We like to think we're pretty good too now, Carl. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I didn't say you weren't good. I'm saying but you're playing. You moved up to the big boy level.
Over Memorial and Robert Toombs last year. No, I'm just kidding. Here's the truth. Those teams are going to be very formidable foes. Our guys are going to play at the highest level possible to compete. We know that. And we're going to go out there and do the best we can. And, I'd give anything if I have an opportunity to play at Bullock Academy. That's our last game. If I'm still playing then, we're a happy camp over here now. But, and that means that I've got that many players that are still able to get on that. When you got our numbers, you want to play at the end of the season now. So we'll see. We're excited about the opportunity to play great foes like that. They're very good teams, and we always are looking forward to challenges.
Tough schedule, and I know you'll have them prepared for it.
Well, we're going to do our best. That's all we can do. Good, better, best. Never let it rest. Good's better, and better's best.
Well, Coach, as we wrap up here, we talked about the expectations and how that's been going and what you guys are doing at St. Andrews. Just tell people a little bit what's like to be out there at St. Andrews. You guys are the father school almost to the back of to Tybee, back of the marsh there. Beautiful place. Just tell people a little bit if they don't know about St. Andrews. Just talk a little bit about St. Andrews and that school and what it means to you.
Well, I will tell you, I just looked across the window right here. I'm looking out the window at the beautiful sunset across the moss-covered trees and just beautiful scenery. It's just a beautiful place. We got great people. People that care about each other, and that's very important. It's a family atmosphere, and I love that about it. We do a great job of preparing our young men and women for college. I'll speak from my own state. I've got a son that played football for me. He is now a senior at Brevard College. Got a ring playing in the playoffs last year, playing in the bowl game in D3. But he's going to graduate in 4 years and get a degree. And I don't know that he'd do that without a St. Andrews education preparing him for that. I've got another son. Had the opportunity to go down to Jacksonville and play football there. He's on track. Everything's going great for him. Again, it's our education. We do a great job with our academics. I'll tell you what, we do everything we can to develop the young men. I believe this. I believe academics prepares them for college. Athletics prepares them for life.
Yep.
We're trying to hold up our end and prepare them for life, and our school's doing a great job preparing them for college. And we're going to put it all together and hopefully have some very successful young men and women when they get through.
Coach, Chad, he's got it spoiled. He's spoiled out there. When I was out there, we didn't have that luxury stands. We didn't have that brand new field house. We had our weight room inside our locker room, okay? He's got it good out there. It's a beautiful campus. The reason why I went there for 2 years because I lived around the block. It was a neighborhood school, just like up north. They were neighborhood schools. But I had to make sure. My daughter graduated from there. He is right. She graduated there with almost a year's credit at Georgia. She finished in 3.5 years. So, they do prepare the kids well for college. But he's got it good there. Nice plush office there with a little training room. So don't let him kid you. He's got a kingdom out there.
He's got a little hidden gem on the marsh there.
Well, we're very blessed, and I'm a very lucky man to do what I do, like we all are. To get to do what we do. I'll be honest with you. This is, I tell people all the time, when I was 8 years old, when I was in the 8th grade, okay. I told everybody I want to be either a professional athlete or a coach. By the time I got in the 9th grade, I realized I was going to be a coach. That's what I'm doing, and I enjoy it. If you're going to play at that next level, you better have some real talent. Real talent. You can't just be good. You better be great. I was good. I'm great. Nowhere near good.
Well, Coach, appreciate you coming on. I know your enthusiasm carries on to those kids. You love the place. Keep up, and best of luck Friday night. And I got to say, not going to miss this one. Go Lions.
Hey, thank y'all so much. And I'm going to say it again. Go Lions. Thank you.
Go get them Friday night, Coach. Appreciate you, man. You do a great job. I know you love your kids and how hard you work, so just keep it up.
Thank you so much. We'll see y'all.
I'll talk to you, Doug. Thanks.
Thanks.
enthusiastic.
Oh man.
I mean, he started out with 16 kids. He's up to 21. I mean, my first year, I had 18 kids. My first year at St. Andrews, we went 3-8. We made it all through the season. We made it to the playoffs. The following year, we made it to the state semifinals. I got robbed, but I'm not going to get into that with you, Doug. Dorchester robbed me, but I mean, just a great atmosphere. It's a community school. It's a neighborhood school, and I mean, it's rigorous too. I mean, now they got the IB program, and these kids do both, and what they do is pretty.
Well,
neat.
you know that one. Anytime you talk to Coach Dixon, one his love, his passion for what he does is second to none, and it's going to be infectious to the kids. It's got to be infectious to the school, and that I think we're all called to do certain things.
Yes.
I mean, we talk about this all the time.
Yep.
Like, I believe coaching and education is a call.
Yep.
Because you got it's not for the money, it's not for accolades, it's not fame. You got to love it because it is so self-sacrificing. You give up a lot, but you get so much in return from the students and athletes, and you get to impact. And Doug's done a tremendous job wherever he's been. He's been able to do that. So St. Andrew's lucky to have him, and got a nice little gig out there on the.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So,
the year after I left, I feel like I had a part of it. They won the state championship in basketball and football, but. I wasn't there for that, but those kids came through me, and I was part of it, and I'm glad for those kids, and I'm glad for the school. So they open up Friday night, another game in town.
Yeah.
Okay, got to apologize to the man, Doug Dixon. So there is 3 games in town,
three games.
but only 45 fans from each team. That's a small crowd, especially Friday night in South Georgia.
Yeah, but understand
Yes,
listen,
yes.
we I mean that's one reason why we're getting the Frederica game, and we're seeing this all across the state. And I think we'd all agree if we got to play football with no fans, as long as because it's really about the student athletes and getting to play. And I know it's tough, man. It's tough across the whole deal right now. But hey, we're getting to play. It kicks off tonight with Fort McHale, then more games tomorrow night, and then through the weekend. So looking forward to it, man. It's here in Georgia.
Now you guys started earlier. Of course, the private schools started earlier than the public schools, but I'm telling you. Watching those girls play softball yesterday, watching them play volleyball, I mean, there was nothing like it. Nothing like it. And, they understand that how many games they're going to play this season.
Yeah, and you just don't know. It's like today.
Know.
I mean, sitting them off at 4 o'clock, phone rings. It's like, hey, this is Glen Academy, and this is what's happened. And, so we lost a game, and we're going to play Haversham tomorrow. They were scheduled to play us, and now we'll play best out of 5 instead of 2 out of 3. But we get to do it. We get to play, and so,
keep it going.
Yeah, keep it going.
All right. Of course, we're at the universe of sports, right? It's the center
of the sports universe.
Center of the sports universe. Center of the sports universe. I keep on messing up. John Henderson and Dell Henderson, thank you for letting us do it right here at Coach's Corner. Right now, out in the Sound Garden, they got Pub Star Trivia every Wednesday night. New little gig every Thursday night in the Sound Garden. It's the Nashville Nights, hosted by Kicks 96. And tomorrow night's show features award-winning musician Hunter Flanagan. He plays 8 instruments and is a true musical genius. The words from our friends at Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Okay, he'll be joined. We will be joined with very popular Natalie Goodman. Also, will be out there for a great show.
Nice.
So we got it here. Then Friday night features Savannah's favorite, Keith and Ross. Okay, they'll blow you away with their 2-part harmonies and their original songs. So it's not just going to be singing everybody else's songs. That starts at 7, and I'll let you take. Before you go, I got to find my lighter for an encore. Okay?
I know, man. Well, the kids don't use kids don't even know what lighters are.
We got to go with our flashlight now.
Kids don't even know what lighters are.
Okay, we got to go back and forth. But I'm telling you right now, if I didn't have to go to a winning Saturday night,
little free bird,
Leonard Skinner.
Leonard Skinner out here in the Sound Garden. Tickets are $15, $25. Going fast, so get yours. It will be electric out there. Labor Day weekend, NASCAR racing in Darlington, Kentucky Derby going on, baseball going on, football going on.
And I'll give you a little trivia here. First concert I ever went to, guess who the lead band was? Leonard Skinner.
Nice.
Lead band for the Doobie Brothers.
Oh, nice. Little Southern Rock action.
Little Southern Rock up there on Long Island, New York, in the Nassau
man.
Coliseum. So it was a lot of fun. And on Sunday in the Sound Garden, once again, Coach Corner will host the popular Savannah Songwriter Series hosted by Tom Cooler, singer-songwriters Jefferson Ross and Tim Malachek.
You got it, man.
Okay, will be featured. They'll be playing their original songs. Come on out. Remember, Coach's Corner Sports Network every Wednesday night from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. You got Dan Foles and Brandon Baines talking NASCAR.
Rubbing and grubbing, babe.
They're
rubbing,
rubbing the cars, but they're getting the grubbing. They got nachos. Dan, you save us any nachos? Oh, we got some nachos there.
We'll get chip.
Okay, we'll get a chip.
We'll get chip.
We get a chip, okay? But it's a lot of fun. They talk all NASCAR. I mean, they're off the wall. They don't care what they say, so that's a lot about it. Being educators, we can't join in adult beverages like they do, but it's a lot of fun. And then we'll be back here Saturday morning. So far, great show to start it off with. We're going to start off with the man himself. You know him very well. I know him very well. The head ball coach from Benedictine. I hope he wins. He'll be in a good mood. Benedictine taking on Burke County. BC against BC for the third year in a row. This is the rubber match.
It is, man.
This is the rubber match.
And
so
a lot of excitement going on in BC. Right. A lot of talent.
Yep.
They're all over the field on both sides of the ball. We're hearing a lot of offense. You hadn't heard a lot about the BC defense, so we'll get to talk to Danny about that as well.
And Danny's the defensive guru.
Yeah, so we'll get
If you don't have 11 hats on the ball, 11 helmets. He's very upset.
Oh yeah. If you ain't sprint to that ball, man, I watched him in practice those years at Calvary. But we'll get to talk to Danny about that. And so who's next after Danny?
Okay, we've been trying to get this young man for at least 3 or 4 weeks. About a month and a half ago, he verbally committed to play football for the Gamecocks. That's the University of South Carolina. Ontario Brown. And, one of the best running backs in the city. Dennis Knight has him as one of the top 5
without doubt.
And, I want people to understand, okay? I'm gonna go off a tangent. Because Dennis Knight says they're the top 5 runners. He says they're the top 5 runners. He's not labeling them number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, just like with the football teams. There's a new regime over at Savannah Morning News. He has to do this. He's not giving you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's just giving you top 5 quarterbacks. I don't know. What did he do with the lineman? You remember?
He had lineman.
He had the lineman. So give the guy a break. He's doing the best. If you don't love reading about these kids and him doing his best by reading his kids, there's something wrong. And I'm going to stick up for him.
Be grateful.
You got to be grateful for what this guy does. And I can't believe the abuse that he's catching because, he has this team ranked number 1 and this team's not even ranked. You know what? The game is won on the field. It's not one in the newspaper.
It's like all the preseason stuff. But where was LSU last year winning preseason?
Yeah, where were they?
Yeah. And had the best season in school here. So you just never know. All this stuff it's nice. It's great. At the end of the day, hopefully we all get to play and we sort it out in the end. But lastly, all that, listen, they're high school kids. They're high school kids. They're high school students. And listen, we all just want them to enjoy what they're doing, have fun at it, and I guarantee you they are less worried about it than you are.
All right, we'll be back here Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, right here for the Coach and the AD, the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. Once again, we got to thank John Henderson and Del Henderson for letting us come in and do this. We're going to be outside, we're going to be inside.
I don't know. I'll be getting back from Prince Avenue probably about 3 in the morning. So
so you want to have a cot for you?
Maybe we might take a nap in between. I might get a 3-minute nap in between commercials.
So we'll be back here Saturday morning. Remember, every Wednesday night, following the other Coach's Corner Sports Network show, Rubbin' and Grubbin', you can listen to the Coach and AD with our Wednesday night update, and we'll be back on Saturday morning. So until we talk to you Saturday, whatever you may be doing, hit it out of the park, and hopefully you got to do these 3 things before I give you my last line. You didn't bring your I didn't bring my mask.
But, I will mask up.
Wear your mask. Wash your hands. And social distance. And once again, may this week be your best week ever. God bless, and we'll talk to you on Saturday. And once again, are you ready for some football? Because it starts. It started tonight, but in Savannah, Georgia, it starts tomorrow. Country Day at Bullock Academy in Statesboro at 6 o'clock. But Friday night, right here in Georgia. He's going to Atlanta. I'm staying right here.